You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
Chris, there on the back. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 270 of the Battered Heroes podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Granada, and alongside me, as always, Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir?
Just last-minute changes. Nothing to worry about. We lost. Look at what happened.
Last-minute changes.
I mean, look at what happened. Last-minute change. All of a sudden, we just got destroyed. We lost. Yeah, last minute.
What changes are you talking about?
Well, last-minute changes, just like the personnel, like Yannick Bright had to get out, hamstring. That affected everything. All of a sudden, you bring in offensive players, Matias Rojas, Campana. Literally, everybody's playing offense.
Yeah, they were going. They had nothing to lose. I mean, right? Because it was Atlanta's game where they had to win or they were done. So they went for the win with Campana and Matias Rojas, and it didn't work out. I felt like Noah Allen was probably the best defender, and he got taken out for Campana when they went for the win. But we're gonna get into all that. I mean, it's just embarrassing, really. Like we lost 2-1. And I think it was heavy on Busquets, and we'll probably get into that also. I think Busquets missing, even though technically he's the center back, but when we're on offense, he pushes the ball up into the midfield, and he helps the midfield out. Our midfield is non-existent today.
Esteban feels really, I mean, you know how Esteban feels about egg ball. Yeah. He said we got jinxed by wearing the Dolphins third kit. So shout out to you, Esteban Dito.
I forgot what I was saying.
It was embarrassing.
Well, we lost 2-1, but next shot we didn't even deserve that goal because basically, Brad Guzan literally just gifted it to us. He just said, "Here you go. I'll spot you one because I know we're gonna get more."
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Well, Peaches is Peaches with a special super slam.
Oh,
right. There we go. So on to game 3, but I'm out if it gets toxic. Chill. I mean, I guess look, she's basically telling us let's chill out.
Well, I'm not gonna get toxic, but I will tell you, as I was waiting for you to arrive, Chris, I was reading the chat, and the chat was yes, the chat looks like it might get a little toxic throughout the show for sure. And I will tell you, one of the reasons that I really didn't want us to go to game 3 is because technically I already paid for game 3. So what I was hoping for was for that money to get transferred to the Orlando or Charlotte game. And now there you go. Now they're going to charge me they already charged me for this game, and now I got to pay extra if we beat Atlanta. I'm not even going to say we will. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, are you serious? You're going to say that? My goodness. Pace Hunter is saying, one question, Chris, did you bet on the game? I mean, I don't know whether I should answer that or not. Unfortunately, I made 3 bets.
And all of them included into Miami, yep.
Yeah, unfortunately.
No,
2 of them. Yeah. 2 of them. One of them was a West Coast bet.
All right. Well, here we go. This was the starting lineup.
Oh, so we're just jumping right in. We're just jumping right in. Okay, let's do it.
You know what? The starting line. Oh, what's going on here? You know what? I came on here, and this was all weird today. There
was a bunch of problems. I mean, for those of you on audio, we just put up the starting lineup here.
It was basically the same as last time.
Yeah, Suarez up top, Gomez left wing, Messi right wing. Alba, Martinez, Allen, Aviles, and Vega filling out the back with the 5. And then you got Bright and Redondo. I guess Allen was supposed to be like the fill-in role for Busquets, I guess.
Yeah, but that's basically what it was. He did a good job.
He did a phenomenal job, but I'm just saying he didn't play like a CDM. Like he sat back more than he moved up.
Yeah, and I think that's what we get with Busquets. With Busquets, when we have the possession, he pushes the ball up into the midfield. So technically, he's a center back, but it's almost like he's playing that 6 role anyway when we're on the ball. And you could tell that was missing because we had no creativity. We had no way to get Messi the ball. He wasn't touching it, and when he did touch it, he had to go back into the midfield to get the ball. So, I mean, obviously, we missed Busquets. The midfield got dominated, and that's really all she wrote. Oh,
fortunately or unfortunately, I missed the first 15, 20 minutes of the game because I thought the game was at 7:30. I was lost.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Really?
I ended up getting on like on
You
the
don't get
18th,
notifications?
20th minute. I mean, I did. I didn't see the Apple notification, so I didn't get the notification. I don't know what the hell. I ended up watching it 20th minute. I don't know if I missed much in the beginning of the game, but I missed the first 20 solid minutes for sure.
Ekem says, I now appreciate the three. Well, I still think that the 3-game format is I hate it. I honestly hate it. I think it should be a 2-game series if they want to give everybody a home game, just to do it for the fans and for the money, I guess, and just make it an aggregate. In this case, it would have gone to penalty kicks because we beat them 2-1 at home. They beat us 2-1 today, so it would have gone to PKs. I still think that this 3-game thing is stupid.
I mean, if you think about it, right? If we would have just done 1 gamers, then we would have won against Atlanta already, and then we would have been on the next round. So like this game would have never existed.
We didn't get injured.
Yeah, well, I mean, don't say that because Yannick Bright was announced a little bit after halftime.
That was his
he had
hammy,
a hamstring injury. I mean, I was watching.
But you're worried about Achilles and knees on turf.
I was just afraid for people like Ben Krem, Diego Gomez, because those are the front-leaning runners, the ones that just throw everything into every step. Those guys were the ones I was essentially afraid of.
Yeah. Well, the game started off, and Miami started off hot. Luis Suarez had a great opportunity. I think it was like the first 3 minutes, almost identical to last game. I thought Brad Guzan got a hand on it, pushed it up. They didn't give him a corner. They made it a goal kick anyway. But we started hot, pressing high.
And that was in the beginning of the game.
Didn't watch that. Yeah, but
yeah.
Yeah, but that was like the first 15 minutes or so. They were pressing high, and it looked like it was going to be a repeat of last week when we kept pressing and we were just going to dominate.
Well, I mean, you're saying that, but then Draza is saying Suarez was ass, bruv. Like, I mean,
well, that was at the start of the game. Look, after the first 15 minutes, I think Atlanta settled in because they were missing Brooks Lennon on the right side. So much so that they had to put Saba as a right wing back, which I thought was going to cost them because he was out wide. They need him to be attacking in the center, but they needed somebody to cross in because apparently that's their game plan, just crossing. So he was out wide, so they had the responsibility to get back and defend and to play out wide and cross the balls in. So I felt like, you know what, this is going to cost them because they're not going to have their Inter Miami killer, right? He's the one that scores on us always up the middle and pressing us. And I thought that was going to be the difference of the game, honestly. And it took them a while to settle in, but they eventually got things going with him out wide.
And Mike V's asking, why was Allen taken out? He was probably the best player on the field. He left yellow card man and concussion man, collapsed the entire tactic. This is probably something we'll get to towards the end of the breakdown. Sure. But I mean, it does kind of suck that you take out the best defender.
I think it's because they only play Noah Allen as a center back when it's 3 center backs, when they're playing 3 in the back.
Yeah.
And they went to the 2 center backs and 2 full backs. And I think that's what it is. But like you said, we'll get into it when we talk about that. But yeah, I think that's what it was.
Wait, hold on. LM10, I mean, he was not horrible, right?
Because he's questioning.
LM10 is saying, Mike V, are you serious? And then says he was horrible. LM10, I don't know if you watched the same game as everybody else did, but Noah Allen was not terrible. On the contrary.
I think he might have had the best game of anybody today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, Mike V, it's okay. It's okay. You're not the only one. LM10. All right, good. There we go. LM10 is recognizing. Shout out to LM10. Everybody's saying Allen was the best player. Allen was fantastic.
Oh, Aviles. I think you might be talking about Aviles. Yeah, Aviles. He got his yellow card.
He's talking about Aviles, yes.
Yeah. Well, he got his traditional yellow card. You knew that was going to happen. It's 3 yellow cards to get suspended for a game. Yeah. And because you can't get suspended for the conference finals, I think we're in the clear.
Yeah, so far we're in the clear. At this point, we are, because you get 3. You get 3, right. And then you're suspended.
So if he gets 1 game 3, that would be 2, and then if you get 1 in the semifinals,
it wipes out anyway.
Right. So we're good.
All right. Then Dark Low with another super slam. Thank you guys for the super slams.
Dark Low.
Yeah, much appreciated. And then Robert Taylor needs to play Tots out.
Who would you have taken off for him? I mean, we got Matias Rojas, in, and I know a lot of people must have been excited for that.
I think everybody was excited for it, but like, for example, look, people are bringing up Robert Taylor. If you're Tata, your two best offensive players is going to be, I mean,
On the bench, you mean?
yeah, your best offensive players off the bench are going to be Campana and Rojas. No,
Right. Yeah.
I
Like
mean,
as much look, I know I always give you crap about Robert Taylor, but I'm a huge Robert Taylor fan also. But let's be real, the most threatening players are gonna be Campana and Rojas, because Rojas can create his own shot, right? He's like Messi. He can create for himself and create for others. And then Campana is just that striker. He can finish with his head. Robert Taylor would be playing out in the left wing.
Yeah.
And then what would he be doing? He'd be drifting to the center and trying to get a top bin on the right corner. Like Robert Taylor, I love, but in that situation, I don't think I would have gone Robert Taylor. I think Rojas was the right selection. Now, did it take too long to put him in? If you were going to go for the win, maybe. But, and Rojas hadn't played in a while. I see somebody say that he was rusty. How long has it been since Rojas played? He hasn't played in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. And the thing about Rojas is, the difference of play styles is, that Taylor, he's cooking, but he takes a while to cook up his little play, right? It seems like Rojas, in the blink of an eye, can be able to just say, okay, I got enough space between me and this goal, and he just blasts it from anywhere on the pitch. I mean, Robert Taylor will blast it, but at the same time, he likes to move around very often and find his open space.
The last time Matias Rojas played was October 5th against Toronto.
Wow.
So it's been a month. He was off for a month.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, Mike V, you're saying that there were late subs. Granted, there were late subs, but I mean, at that point, let's
go through the rundown. The game started. We pressed high. We looked good. We looked dangerous. I thought that this was going to be a repeat of the last game. Atlanta finally came into their own. They were trying to counter us, playing back, and when they did get the ball and they didn't have a counter, they held the ball and they were trying to find their way around. Also, I think that Atlanta, after the first 20 minutes, was the better side. But in the 40th minute, Brad Guzan does some weird thing, and I guess we can get into that. Brad Guzan saw that who was it? Redondo was leaning into his side. Yes. I guess he anticipated contact, but I don't know why he didn't kick the ball anyway. It's like he went to kick it and then his foot got stuck in the turf. And he just let the ball bounce. And Redondo found David Martinez. And shout out to David Martinez, center back, with that beautiful chip goal. That was a nice finish by him.
Well, I don't know if you could tell, but there were like two other attempts that David Martinez had where you could tell that he's not really afraid to go offensively.
Yeah, we saw what game was it that he was that he contributed an assist because he was all the way down in our own box?
I don't remember the game, but I do remember the play.
So
he's a good passer as well.
Yeah, he's not scared to be up there. Now, I don't know, that leaves us vulnerable in the counter, but yes, he finds himself up there.
Well, and this is what Tank is mentioning. Fede faked him out. It was sneaky smart by him. I mean, I think
he made no contact. He kind of just went one of these.
Yeah, I do think that he got distracted. I don't know if he got 100%. His I don't know if he got his feet stuck in the turf or anything like that, but I do think that he got distracted. Probably was paying attention to the player he was going to pass it to. Didn't pay attention to the ball. Expected to get kind of knocked over, and not a touch was made to him.
No, and I think Redondo was surprised when he saw the ball in front of him.
Yeah,
he quickly got it to David Martinez.
Just tapped it. And then Clinton is mentioning here, is Miami out of the cup?
No,
this game has nothing to do with any cup, Clinton. No. This is just unfortunate.
No, the cup is the playoffs. But no, next Saturday is win or go home in Chase Stadium. If they lose next Saturday, then they're out of it, which would be an absolute disaster.
Yeah.
But like I've said a ton of times, a lot of people say, oh, if they don't win the cup, it's a disgrace. All you need is one bad game. It's win or go home. It's single elimination. So, I mean, I understand and I agree. The expectation is to win the cup, and I do agree it's a disaster technically, but you can't guarantee a championship when it's single elimination. The best team doesn't always win.
Angel's asking here, and I don't know if this is like the right question to put up here. Should Tata be fired if we lose?
I think because he won the Supporter Shield, his job is safe even if we lose. Nah, I'm serious. I think that's the case.
Okay, all right. That's. I think that's a discussion we could sort of adventure in this week, because that's something that's going to be an interesting point. But yeah, that was a beautiful goal by David Martinez, and luckily for us, Redondo's little play was able to get us that advantage, and we start off the second half with a 1-0 lead. I imagine that you felt pretty good about that, no?
At halftime, I felt pretty good. Yeah, I thought that we would add an insurance goal at some point. I wasn't worried, no. Even though, technically, Danny, bro, come on, bro, it would be an embarrassment if we lose and a total waste of a season. Yes, I understand, and that's why I said that I would also say it's a disaster. But when you think logically, it's one game. People are allowed to have a bad game.
Yeah,
like it happens, unfortunately. That's why in most sports, in single elimination, the best team doesn't always win. So yes, it is a disaster because we should win. But it's not like everybody should be like, but it's not going to happen. Like, it could happen. How many people had us losing today? But things like that happen.
Well, I have a comment here that I starred. I want to bring it up a little bit later. Okay. But for the most part, I feel like, I mean, with the whole Tata situation, it's a very hard sort of conversation to have, because in reality, I mean, listen, I mean, do you blame today's game on him? That's a good question right there. Do you think today's loss is because of Tata? I mean, we're missing Busquets, who everybody sees as like a pretty important piece to the puzzle.
Yeah. You know what? I'll tell you what I blame on him. I didn't understand why he put Cremaschi in at halftime. I would have put Matias Rojas. Because to me, and you correct me and tell me what you think, when he put in Cremaschi, at that point, I didn't know that Yannick Bright was injured. So I thought, okay, he wants to go more offensive, I didn't know, right? Because the midfield, it doesn't exist. He wants somebody that contributes to the offense and somebody that helps press. Because the first 15 minutes, the press was working, and then it kind of died down. Ben Krem can consistently keep that press with Diego Gomez. That's what my mentality was when I saw Ben Krem come onto the pitch. But I think that Matias Rojas gives you more on the offensive than Ben Krem does. Now, because he was out for a month, maybe that plays into it. But that what the only thing that I would question. And maybe the sub at the end when he took out Noah Allen for Campana. I don't know why he did that either, and we'll get into that in a second. But that right there, if you're asking me what I blame Tata for, I thought Matias Rojas should have been the guy to come in at halftime, not Ben Krem. And I love Ben Krem, but for the game that we were playing and how bad our offense looks, like, you don't ever look at Ben Krem and think he's going to help create. Or like I heard Taylor Twellman say, I was listening to it in English, I know people are going to be like, why in English? Oh, today I was listening to it in English. And I heard Taylor Twellman say, oh, he helps possess the ball. I'm like, I don't look at Ben Krem and think of him as somebody that we count on to hold possession. So I thought Matias Rojas would have been the move there. But that's the only thing I can think of, and maybe the Noah Allen sub at the end.
I think that Gressel would have been the better play. I think that Gressel would have been a better play than Ben Krem. Because, I mean, at least he's supposedly supposed to be like a pretty good defender. Yeah. Played right back, right wing back at some point, right?
Okay.
I mean, he's played more offense with us than defense, but I mean,
that's true. That's true. I'll give you that. I honestly, I forgot about Gressel.
And he handles the ball better. Yeah. And he advances the ball.
He is a steady presence in the midfield if you put him there.
Yes. The thing about Ben Krem is that you get a lot of Diego Gomez-ish vibes. Like the hustle man,
Ben Krem? Yes. Yeah. Well, that's why I thought that they put him in to help press up top. I was like, okay, I see. They're gonna go full press with Diego Gomez and Ben Krem because they are straight just lungs and just run after everything. but they didn't really do that. So at that point, I'm like, so what was the point of this? Again, at that point, I didn't know that Yannick Bright was injured, so
Correct.
he had to find the sub. And I still don't think Benkrem was the move, but Gressel, I could see that's a great point by you. I honestly forgot completely about Gressel. That would have been good. And Matias Rojas, just because I feel like he brings so much on the attack, that I think Matias Rojas also. But I don't want to sound like I'm hating on Benkrem because I love Benkrem, but for today's game, I didn't think that was the move.
I think that Benkrem would have been able to come in for like a Diego Gomez and been super effective, because then you're exchanging one mad dog for another mad dog. So like you're going to get that constant pressure on that one side the entire time.
Yeah.
Right. You're not going to get that same thing from a Gressel. But
yeah, you want a steady presence. Yeah, cause our midfield didn't exist. And adding Benkrem, like you said, Benkrem is a locomotive, like we say on this show. He's a locomotive. He's going 1,000 miles an hour in all directions. And you wanted a steady presence in the midfield, and I didn't think that he brought that.
I don't know if you want to answer this question by Cynical Tube here. They're asking, why do you think we lost tonight? You want to leave this for the end?
Oh, I mean, yeah, let's leave that start. Put a star on that. We'll address it at the very end.
We're gonna address it, Cynical Tube.
So at halftime, how are you feeling? I told you I was feeling pretty confident. I thought we'd get an insurance goal. I thought we went 2-0. Maybe they'd get 1-2-1. At no point did I think we were gonna lose.
I didn't think we were gonna lose. I thought that if anything, exactly how it was playing up until the last goal by Atlanta was probably gonna happen. I thought it was going to be 1-1 at the worst. We go to penalties. Guzan has the best game of his life blocking penalties, and then we're still going to go to game 3. Like I thought that
was the only way we go to game 3. I also thought, like, if we go to PKs, maybe we'll go to game 3.
It's a wrap. Yeah, if it's PKs, then Guzan's playing out of his fucking mind. So, like, at that point, we're going to game 3. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I have to look back at that replay of that last winning goal too, because
that game-winning goal.
Yeah, because I don't even know whose fault it was. I'm gonna check it out right now. Go ahead.
Oh, I'll tell you right now whose fault is it. And it starts with a letter Y, yellow card, Aviles. And if you could look it up, go ahead and look it up. I'm pretty sure everybody here in the chat's gonna say it was Aviles' fault. But I guess before we get to that, right? I mean, the game progresses, and we totally forget that Derek Williams, a defender for Atlanta, ends up getting a goal, and it was right after Thomas Aviles, of course, gets his yellow card. Now, and I imagine that you're watching it, but yeah, Tank is also mentioning Aviles. Other people I'm pretty, well, it's Mo Faru is saying Aviles, good play today. Aviles, I don't think that he played great. I think that he was probably the worst of the 3 center backs, to be perfectly honest. I thought he was the worst. And Reynolds is saying a really, really good comment here. If Allen was on that pitch, that last goal never happened. Now, the whole play with Derek Williams, the defender, where he scored on us.
No, that was a beautiful cross.
It was an absolute beautiful cross. There's nobody you could blame on defense for that. I went back and I did the replay. I checked the replay many times. I thought, did somebody fumble this? But man, off rip, when I saw that play, the pass was just made perfectly. There was no way anyone could be made at fault for that. No way.
No, that was a beautiful cross. He headed it into the ground, which is the hardest thing to stop as a goalie. And I also agree. Who could have stopped that? That was just a beautiful delivery by Amador. Now I don't know who was supposed to be closing in on him, because it looked like he took that shot. Was that a free kick? It wasn't a free kick. So I don't know how he had that much space. I'd have to go back and check that out also. But that was just money. But at that point, I still thought that we would score.
Yeah, I thought that we would still score, especially towards the end. I mean, after that goal, there was a couple substitutions made by Atlanta. Then 80th minute comes around, and everybody is already getting ants in their pants. We take out Noah Allen, bring in Capena. We take out Gomez, we bring in Rojas. ATL brings in a couple other people in the 89th minute, 90th minute. Now that last 8 to 10
Silva
minutes
came in at the 89th minute.
Yes. So at that last 8 to 10 minutes until the 90th minute.
Well, before you get there,
you
saw that corner that almost came, that they almost had an own goal.
Olympico. Wait, you're talking about the Olympico?
It was almost an own goal because it was deflected by a defender. I thought that was going to go in when I saw it hit the bottom of the post. That was close. And then Diego Gomez, before they scored their goal, I believe Diego Gomez had a cross in which he just kind of fell asleep on it. Because if he runs and doesn't slow up, he's on the other end of that, and that should be a second goal. We should be winning 2-0. And when you take a 2-0 lead, all of a sudden, Tata might start playing differently. He might start defending more. And that changes the game completely around. And the fact that he wasn't able to convert on that beautiful cross, it was a beautiful play by Messi. Messi, beautiful through ball over to Alba, and Alba with a perfect cross over to Diego Gomez. Diego Gomez just fell asleep and wasn't able to catch up to it.
Josue, let's talk you back off the ledge, buddy. It was a good run, guys. We did well for the playoffs. Josue, come back. We still got another game next week, buddy. It's okay. Nick is here to give us assurances too. Okay. Go ahead, Danny.
No, I was just gonna say it's everybody said that if it was a 1-game playoff, we would have won. At home, we dominated. Just Brad Guzan had the game of his life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're playing at home next week. Like, you shouldn't be. We'll talk about Atlanta in a second, because Atlanta in general, right now, they must be feeling really confident. We'll talk about that at the end. We'll talk about that. Oh my
goodness, it's gonna be wildfire. I mean, look, the last 10 minutes of the game was hell in a handbasket. Mm-hmm. It was just back and forth, turnover after turnover, push after push. They just kept on turning it over and pushing, suspense, turn it over, come back. And it was just a back and forth the whole 8 to 10 minutes. And I thought to myself, Atlanta doesn't want to win. Inter Miami doesn't want to win. They're just giving the ball up all over the place. What's this guy? What's this guy's face from Atlanta? What's his name?
Saba?
Was it Saba?
Saba.
One of the guys almost had like a sort of a half a bicycle or like a turnaround spinning
Saba.
right kick. Yeah,
Saba. Drake Callender saved it.
Yeah, that to me, I was like, oh my goodness, that should have been in the bag. I mean, look, Mez, I've seen you say this already. Scripted for money. Imagine. I don't know, man.
I don't think so.
I think that the MLS kind of wants Inter Miami just to move on and play somebody else.
Yeah. Alejandro's asking, where is Tommy? Unfortunately, he's going to be back with us at some point this week.
They do spaces, I think, after the game.
But he's in Michigan right now, so he's not going to be on.
Okay. So he's not going to be on the spaces.
No. He's in Michigan.
Yeah. Well, that last 10 minutes, it was entertaining. It was gut wrenching. And then, of course, we get over to the last.
Let's finally get into it. We said we were going to get into it a second ago. What did you think about the Noah Allen sub?
So the Allen sub, I thought it was really dumb. I thought you were taking out the best defender of the game. Now, I understand Tata's viewpoint in doing it, because thinking to himself, well, I'll keep my two best center backs in. I'll remove Noah Allen. He's probably exhausted. And let me just bring in all my offensive guns, because it's go hard or go home. I'm going at the throat. Right? That's the only thing that I can give Tata, is that, okay, he's thinking complete offense time.
Yeah, he was going for it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what if you're bringing in Matias Rojas, you're bringing in Campana, and you're taking off a defender and going from 5 in the back to 4 in the back, you're going for the win. And I don't hate that strategy. F it, go for it. Now, when it backfires on you, then everybody hates on you. But I kind of like that he went aggressive. He's like, you know what, F this. Let's end this right now. And I appreciate that. I don't dislike it. What I disliked was that instead of just taking off Diego Gomez for Campana, he decided to bring Campana and Matias Rojas, and then he kind of jeopardized his defensive form in the back by going 4 in the back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, Go ahead. You were gonna say. Sorry, I thought
No,
you finished.
I was gonna say that with all of a sudden you went to 4 in the back, and Atlanta was on top of you, and there was miscommunication. I don't know if it's because I don't know you were playing through with 3 center backs in the back. All of a sudden you're 2, so you feel like you could push up more and be more aggressive defensively, and you left space behind you. Because now that I watched that goal back, Tomas Aviles, well, and no, and Wegan also, but Tomas Aviles went in to put his foot into, I guess, get a foot on a ball, and he was way too aggressive because he went in there and he left. It was
his
Wegan
whole
by
space
himself.
exposed.
Yeah, that's it. And then the guy ran in behind, and then Wegan for some reason didn't close in. He hesitated, and he gave him one-on-one shot. Like, I can't even blame Drake for that because it was a one-on-one shot, top left.
Yeah.
It was Tomas Aviles and Wegan didn't close in.
Well, and according to Tank is saying that Guzan saves that shot.
No, he doesn't.
Nobody saves that shot, Tank. That was literally 5-10 feet away from the goalie.
No.
Nobody's saving that.
That was perfectly placed where no goalie was going to get that.
Nobody.
Now, I would have preferred, like I said, because this is what he's done this in the past. He puts in Capena. He puts him wide, where we always ask, why the hell is Capena wide? Now, I don't know if Allen was cramping. If Allen was cramping, then it makes more sense.
Yeah.
But we always ask, why is Capena wide? But he's done this plenty of times. He puts him wide, then it's Capena, Suarez, and Messi up top, and then you just go for it. And if Noah Allen was cramping, like Gus said, that's a different story. I haven't heard that. Otherwise, I don't know why he went to 4 in the back when 5 in the back was working just fine. The only time that they got a clear shot off was on that beautiful cross where it ended in the header.
Now, the thing is, Angel is here saying he's always late on subs. He made those subs on the 84th minute. At that point, look, typically he's late on subs. But seeing how the pace was going, I feel like those subs took place at, I guess, a decent time. I mean, if you would have made them earlier, you would have exposed your defense. What happened?
I was reading the Super Slam.
Oh, okay. Let's put it up. Cesar Cifredo with a $5 Super Slam. Thank you.
I don't have the sounds. I don't know what happened.
What? You don't have the sounds? What? Oh my goodness! They just disappeared. Oh my gosh, you're playing some like weird sound. I mean, you might as well just do this one.
We'll figure this out for next time. But we do appreciate you, Cesar. So do or die round 3. Calendar should block with the croqueta plate to seal the deal for the semifinals. Yes, he definitely should. Just bring that out and just start swinging it all over the place. Look, I didn't think Drake had a bad game. He had that great save on Saba's random twirling kick, that header off that cross. I think just about anybody gets that scored on them. I didn't think Drake had a bad game. You know what I saw Drake do today that I was dying to point out to you and Solana?
What?
There was a point where, because you guys are like, oh yeah, he's so horrible with the ball. There was a point where he distributed the ball and he kicked it on a goal kick, and it landed right at the feet of Luis Suarez. And that started a transition the other way. And I thought to myself, you know what? Christian Solana can suck it, because this is the type of stuff that he does, and they never give him credit for. So they just wait for him to mess up, and it's like, oh, you see? Yeah. So
that was a good play. And Claudette, shout out to Claudette. Thank you so much. Says, hi, guys. See you every program. And I believe that BR is for Brazil.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Much appreciated. I think the problem is, if the injury happened, if he was having cramps, then fine. Here's another question. I'll ask you something, Danny. Would you have taken out Martinez or Aviles instead of him?
Neither. Because when you go with 4 in the back against a team like Atlanta that loves to cross, I don't want to get into Noah Allen's height, because he's done above and beyond a great job as a center back. But that's why they use him on a 3-man back line. When you go in 2 men and then you're playing against a team that's constantly crossing with aerial threats, I think that it's a little more dangerous to have him as one of your 2 center backs defending aerial crosses. So I think when you went to a 4-man back, Noah Allen had to be taken off. My thing is, I think they should have kept it with 3 center backs. and 5 technically in the back. That's what I feel like he should have kept.
So, I mean, so you think that the substitution was good then? Or at least it was just done for the wrong player?
No, I wouldn't have brought in Campana and Matias Rojas. I would have kept it with Noah Allen, Martinez, and Aviles in the back, the 3-man back line. I would have kept that, and then I would have brought in Campana or Matias Rojas, one or the other, for Gomez. I wouldn't have changed the formation. I felt like that kind of threw the defense off because they did that, and then what? Not even 10 minutes later did they score?
We get scored on. Yep.
Yeah.
The real Akeno is asking about season tickets real quick. Can you transfer your season tickets to another team? No, you cannot. You cannot be able to transfer your tickets.
Would you want to, though? What other team would you want to watch other than Inter Miami?
Wow, that's actually a very good question. I mean, who gives
LAFC?
away the best?
LA Galaxy?
Who gives the best
You're
gifts?
You're not even thinking about the pitch. You're not even thinking about the actual game. You're thinking about the gifts. Go to Ohio. I heard that Cincinnati gives away a bunch of good crap away.
Yeah, they give good crap away because they can't give good teams away.
Exactly.
Yeah, the garbage bags.
They won Supporter Shield last year.
Yeah. Also, but they've also had the wooden spoon award?
Yeah, a bunch of times.
So, I mean, Tag is saying you want to go root for Orlando. So
Absolutely
that's what he's saying. Yeah. And
Orlando Charlotte's going game 3. Cincy NYCFC going game 3. We're going game 3. And I always thought that Columbus would force a game 3 also against the Red Bulls. So unless the Red Bulls completely shock them and eliminate Columbus, all 4 games from the Eastern Conference might go 3 games.
Imagine that.
That shows the parity of the league, which people hate, but that shows the parity of the league.
And then we're gonna get into one game wonders. So, I mean, literally death games every single game after that.
Did you hear why Busquets was out?
Yeah, people in the chat were mentioning that Busquets was really sick. He was sick, so that's why they didn't show up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Right. So go ahead. They scored that last goal.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll talk about Noah Allen in a little bit, but yeah, last goal. Okay, you know what? Let me mention my point here. I think that Tata shouldn't have made the substitutions and play for penalties. I think that that's what he should have done, because playing in the last 5-10 minutes away, where you see that the other team is like really building this momentum, I don't know if I would have done that. I would have kept Noah Allen on the pitch.
I don't know. I still thought that we had a chance of scoring late. And when you have Messi on your team, you know, the thing is that Messi would touch the ball and you would have 3-4 shirts around him.
You get a yellow card, Tank. How are you going to say you can't put that stress on Drake? Drake was literally the goalie of the League's Cup, of this guy right here last year. This guy right here, who was the goalie of this. Get out of here, Tank. Oh, nice. Justin Blair with a comment saying, what is wild is every team in Eastern Conference could play their biggest rival in the second round.
That is true, because we could play Orlando, or Atlanta could play Charlotte. NYCFC could play the Red Bulls, or Charlotte could play Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of just fell that way. Pretty interesting. Watch us not get any of them, but that would be interesting.
And Atlanta and Orlando is kind of a rivalry too, if Atlanta was to move forward as well.
Yeah.
So
how are you feeling?
I'm not feeling good. I don't like the fact we ended up getting scored on by Silva. Okay. Mm-hmm. That goal, which was a terrible play. And after this game, I'm not going to say that I feel great. I feel okay because we're going to be playing at home, right? And I mean, other than that, hopefully, I mean, we'll have Busquets back. Hopefully, Bright will be back to normal. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, I feel okay. I think that we're going to win this, but I don't like being the losers leading up to the last game. When you lose that game prior to the last game, you're going in with a sort of different momentum there.
Yeah, but you're going home. If we were going into Atlanta, that'd be a
Yes.
different story.
Yeah.
All right, Randy saying, Danny, you can't say, well, losing one game doesn't decide how bad of a team we are. The best teams in the world are dictated by how well they play in these elimination style games. Well,
Yeah.
first of all, today was an elimination game for Miami. So that's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, the best team doesn't always win in a single elimination. You could put two teams to play each other, and the better team will probably win 9 out of 10, but they won't win 10 out of 10. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't win, but it's not 100% guaranteed just because you're the better team, you're going to win. Look at everybody talks about how great Messi, Suarez, and Neymar were. Like the greatest offense ever.
Yeah.
They won one Champions League the whole time they were together. Those teams don't always win. You had Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi together. They didn't win shit. You can't guarantee that. It's especially in a single elimination. So, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't win. I'm expecting us to win. I'm expecting us to go to the Cup. Yeah. I've already set my plans for that's where I'm going to spend my wedding anniversary. I'm going to spend it at Chase Stadium celebrating our first star on top of the crest. So this is what my mind is set on. I'm just saying, don't take it for granted. It's not guaranteed. But those are my expectations, but it's not guaranteed.
Well, Breaking Views is saying here, but Atlanta is not the top and always gives hard time to Inter Miami. You don't always have to be the top dog to give us a hard time. You know, there's
good teams always have that one team that's just a pain in the ass. And Atlanta has become that for us. Yes. No team during the Messi era has given us more issues than Atlanta.
Yeah.
We beat them in the Leagues Cup 4-1, and then we beat them last game. But they beat us twice already also.
Mm-hmm.
No other team has beaten Messi's team twice, and they beat them both with Messi on the pitch. Like, it wasn't like, oh, Messi wasn't playing. Like, the both times that they beat, Messi was playing. So, and because of that, Atlanta and everybody in that Atlanta locker room is believing, whether right or wrong, whether you think that they're crazy for it or not, Atlanta right now, their players and their fans are believing that they could pull off an upset next Saturday.
Well, and logic, the alias, the Israelian is saying first round is going to be the hardest. The thing about the first round is the illusion of the flexibility of being able to win, of being able to still lose a game. I mean, listen, I don't know if you guys saw at the end of the game, Tata went to shake the hand of the other coach, and he's got smile cheesing from ear to ear.
Yeah, he's not worried.
What coach would smile ear to ear after they just took a L? Only a coach that knows he's going to give you a body bag in the next game.
I'm not worried. And I don't mean that as a disrespect to Atlanta, because you have to give Atlanta credit. Like, I think if you don't give Atlanta credit, you're crazy, because no team has given this Messi era Inter Miami team as much trouble as Atlanta. So you have to give them credit. But even with all the look, I'm more worried about playing against Atlanta than I am Columbus, because I think Columbus sucks. I think that we're going to kick Columbus's ass. But Atlanta, for some reason, man, they're just such a pain in the ass to us. I do expect us to win next week. Yeah. I do expect us to have another performance like we did last week. We play better at home. We play very well at home. So I expect us to win. But no guarantees, because I don't know what the hell this Atlanta, it has like a rabbit foot up their ass. I don't know what they do, but, you know.
So I have a question, Danny. Do you want me to go over the Cynical 2 question, or do you want to go over the man of the match other than Messi and the Capena award?
Cynical 2 first.
All right. So Cynical 2 commented with a great question. Why do you think we lost tonight? Very simple question to ask, right? Why do you think we lost tonight?
He doesn't get as much credit, and maybe even I don't give him enough credit, but missing Sergio Busquets contributing in the midfield made our midfield non-existent. It made it very difficult to get Messi the ball in spaces where he can kind of produce or play make. He ended up having to run into the midfield to find the ball often. I think our midfield really suffered without one. Our midfield suffered without Busquets, and two, our midfield suffered without Bright, because I thought Bright also having to leave at halftime also kind of change things around. He's a calming presence on defense. He gets his foot on a lot of balls. He also presses up high. I think that Bright leaving also kind of really hurt us as far as the midfield goes. What do you think?
Well, I mean, you used Bright and Busquets. I was going to go with just Bright. But before I do, Marasovic is putting up a really good fun fact saying 1 in 18 people have a third nipple. Guys, 1 in 18 people are liking the video. So press the like button, guys. Do us that favor. And for those of you watching on Twitter, check us out on YouTube. It's a really cool place, cool community. We got a Discord and all that kind of good stuff.
And I mean, Peaches, I agree. Messi had to track back to find the ball often. And I also think that Redondo had a pretty solid game.
My answer to why I think we lost is I think that Bright was missed. I think that Bright in the beginning, from the beginning of the game, I feel like Bright did pretty well. And yeah, you could see we missed Busquets, but Bright wasn't bad. He was good. He was playing good defensively. He was stealing balls. He was helping advance the ball when it was necessary. So to me, I feel like Bright was a pretty good contributor to the game on both sides of the ball. And the moment that you lose him and then you implement him with a player like Kremaski, who gives you more of a Diego Gomez sort of intensity, I think it didn't boast well. It wasn't the best fit in terms of like the exchange between Bright and Kremaki versus Bright and maybe Gressel. So I think that is the main reason why we lost. And it's not so much on Kremaki, because Kremaki is a great player. It's more about the fact that we lose that sort of defensive, I don't know, the way that Bright plays, man. I mean, you've seen it. He plays incredible. So that's one of the reasons that I would say that we lost, probably the biggest one. So, and RL is mentioning here, honestly, we don't have fast pace other than Gomez, Bright, Allen. Rest are pretty decent. I mean, Taylor's pretty fast. I feel like Wagon and Jordi Alba are faster than people anticipate. I feel like Jordi Alba is for sure faster than a lot of people give him credit for. But yes, Gomez, Bright, and Allen are pretty fast-paced players. Man
of the match, other than Messi. Even though I don't think anybody would say Messi was the man of the match today.
Well, that's perfect because I kept your comment here, Mike V. Allen is man of the match, including Messi.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, guys.
Would say, and not because. I mean, he had a couple of opportunities that he created, that threw ball to Jordi Alba that should have ended in a Diego Gomez goal and stuff. But I felt like he didn't have enough opportunities to get something going. He just couldn't get on the ball.
Allen gets my man of the match.
Okay, you gonna know Allen?
Yeah. He gets my man of the match.
You know what?
You want to give it to someone else.
Yeah, because you gave it to Noah Allen, I want to go somewhere else. I'm going to say David Martinez. And not so much the goal, but there were a couple times where it felt like Atlanta was in the attack and he would get his foot on the ball and stop the play. And he has looked so good defensively, marking players, stopping one-on-one opportunities. I like David Martinez. So I'm going to give it to David Martinez. You said Jordi Alba. Look, our defense, I don't think looked terrible. I think that cross that ended up in the headed goal, props to Atlanta. I don't think that was on anybody. That was just a beautiful play. And then that last goal is when they switched to a 4-man back line. And I think that's what cost them. But I think when we were at 5 men, I think David Martinez was doing great. Noah Allen was doing spectacular. And even Tomas Aviles, even though he made some boat-headed plays, wasn't playing horrible either. I think as that 5-man back line or 3-man, whatever you want to call it, I thought that they were doing well in that circumstance.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you.
Alejandro said Drake.
Drake was the man of the match.
That's what he says. Yeah, I mean, he did have that save against Saba.
Well, Alejandro saying Allen and Drake. Yeah, I see it. This is a good question. Dennis was saying, who can we play instead of Cello since Frey is gone?
I didn't think Cello had a bad game today.
he didn't have a bad game. I mean, the only other player I could think of is David Ruiz.
I mean, he had that last play where he didn't close in on Silva or whatever his name is. Tank saying, imagine if we had Martinez all year long. Both would play well together. I mean, if we had him all year long, instead of losing 4 games, we would have lost 3, 2. Like, we had a pretty good year anyway.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, we only could have won 5 additional games. Well, no, because you're talking about the ties too. We only could have flipped it for a more positive result. 5 games. That's it.
All right. So
and then
who get
the Capena?
Yeah, who gets your Capena award?
So let me bring up the starting lineup here. Out of in this group, you know what's funny is we've been bashing Redondo, and I kind of want to see. I want to get everybody's vibe check. Redondo to me played pretty good.
Yeah, he had a good game today.
Does everybody here agree? I mean, listen, for those of you in the chat, who gets your Capena award? I mean, I didn't even have to ask the question, and I already see a lot of people answering.
Toto Aviles, I see.
Yeah, I mean, but it's all over the place, Danny. Look at this. You got Aviles, you got Suarez, Redondo, Cremaki, you got Cello, you got Toto. Yeah, a lot of.
You know what my issue is with the Suarez thing? I understand he didn't do crap today, and he complains a whole lot. But if Messi was having a hard time get the ball, what's your number 9 going to be doing? Like he's going to have even a harder time. Like he needs some type of service. So, I mean, if you want to go just based off the fact that he was non-existent because he couldn't get the ball, so he couldn't contribute anything, technically, but is that completely his fault? You already had Messi tracking back. Did you want him to track back also?
I mean, look, Dusan, Balint, Cello, like every match, 0 danger. The thing is, Dusan, how can you expect Cello to be dangerous from Messi's side? Like Gressel, who is a way more dangerous offensive player, he can't be more dangerous with Messi in front of him.
No, Cello has plenty of room to work with when Messi drifts to the center of the pitch.
He does, but like then, okay, so then why can't Gressel?
I don't know why Gressel doesn't do it.
Is it because he doesn't stick to the right side? Does he try to float as well, I guess? I don't know. Cafe Time is saying Miami's front line sucked. If Miami's front line sucked, if that's the case, that's only because they couldn't get the ball.
And then just real quick, let me address this. I'm all over Campana when he doesn't get the ball. I don't know, Amanda, how long you've been listening to this show, but for the first half of the season, I was defending Campana. I gave up on Campana when he was starting every game during the summer, and he had his opportunity to shine. At that point, what other excuse can I give him? So I wasn't killing him when he didn't get the ball. I understand that a striker needs service. But, I mean, he started every game. They were playing well. They were winning those games, and he was non-existent and not contributing during those games. Now, he picked it up towards the end of the season. But, I mean, that's my thing with Campana, is that during the summer, and you go back, right before the summer game started without Messi and Suarez, I was like, this is Campana's time to shine. He's about to shine. And I was wrong. So that's my thing with Campana.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and put this image back up. I would say out of all the starters, I'd probably have to give it to Aviles.
Okay.
I'd have to give the Capena award to Aviles, unfortunately. It seemed like the whole team played fairly well.
Okay.
It's just that
let me give mine. This is for you, Amanda. I'm going to give it to Campana. We took out Allen to get Campana on there. We sacrificed our defense to get Campana to contribute, and Campana didn't do anything. So there you go. There you go, Amanda. My Capena award goes to Campana.
Look at that. Campana gets, how many minutes did he play in this game?
10.
He got
10,
subbed
11.
in. He played 10. He played 10 minutes. 10 of the most ineffective minutes of all soccer time.
Diego Gomez also did nothing. The whole look, Gomez and Suarez didn't do anything. And the only reason that Messi did something is because he was tracking back to the midfield to get the ball. And then he would get the ball in the midfield, and then he would find Jordi Alba with some through passes, over the top balls. So Messi went out and found the ball, but Messi's allowed to do that. You don't expect Diego Gomez to do that. And Suarez is the number 9. He can't do that either. He needs to be there for Messi, to be that outlet for him. So I agree. Gomez and Suarez non-existent, but at the same time, like they really had no service to them. So let's just go with Campana, just for the hell of it.
And Michael Neira is saying Gomez missed that nice play built from Messi and Jordi.
That changes the game.
This
that
was
changes
it right
the game.
here.
Yeah, that would have been the game. If they go up 2-0, that changes his tactics. We start being more defensive, and the game changes completely.
Marasov is saying, Pobre Campana, good thing he's rich and has good hair. Listen, when he came on that pitch, he's a good-looking motherfucker right there.
Let me tell you something. I had forgotten that Campana even got on the pitch. It was Amanda that put him back on my radar. So I'm just going to put Campana on there. I had forgotten that he even played. So.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess unless there's anything else.
I mean, it's on to game 3. Danny, who thought we would have been finishing the post game today, saying it's on to game 3. And welcome back, Tommy, one time this week.
Oh, gosh. No, and then like I said, financially, money-wise is the biggest reason I didn't want this to go to a game 3.
Yeah.
Because now I'm going to go to the game, but I got to pay for parking. I already paid for these tickets. I was hoping it's going to get pushed back to in 3 weeks from now. It's completely horrible.
Yeah, Akada's asking if you're going to be going to game 3.
The plan is yes. I should have gone to game 1, but it ended up being the same day as a trunk or treat that they had at my kids' schools, and my kids were obsessed with going over there. So obviously, I got to choose my kids over the game. But as far as I know, no celebrations. What is this November? What, November 9th?
November 9th.
It's not like nothing special happening. I would hope on November 9th. So I should be out there with either my son or my daughter. I don't know.
I know I have something. I just don't remember what I have.
And then Mr. Krabs is asking, how many times has Tommy been up on here? I don't know, man. I don't know. But the thing is, the shows are so horrible every time he comes on. And it's not, I don't even think it's his fault. It's just, I don't know what happens when he comes on here, but it just ends up being an absolute shit show.
It's beautiful.
No, it's not. Episode 269 ended up being worse than 98.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. It was horrible.
You know what, Danny? The first product to ever have a barcode was Wrigley's gum. How about that? And it works perfect with the color we're wearing.
You know what? When Amanda said shows with Tommy are my fave. Jesus.
Yes.
You know, when I saw that they were going to wear this,
on the bottom.
When I saw that they were going to wear this, the thought did cross my mind. It's like, if we lose with these, people are going to say that these are jinxed and nobody's going to want to see them again. And I was happy that Messi was finally going to wear it, because I was like, they can't go the whole season and not have Messi wear this at least once, right? They got to put up pictures with him in a real game with this jersey on. But now that they lost in it, that's it. This is the jinxed kit.
It is.
So.
It is at this point. It's gonna be. It is, and it's gonna be. Real Akeno is saying, "How was your guys' Halloween? Did Shea Stadium host any?" I don't think that they hosted any Halloween events. At least we weren't invited.
We're never invited.
Yeah, I mean we're nobodies.
No, they only invite supporter groups. And Chris said that we should start a 2-man supporter group. And my understanding is that apparently there's no like minimum.
There's no limit.
How many? There's no minimum.
No minimum, no maximum. So we can technically start a 2-man supporter group.
The Battered Herons. That's it. A 2-man supporter group, and then we'll slowly start recruiting people.
Yeah, I think we should do that for sure.
No, but
we got a couple people in our section.
I like our seats.
Yeah, we got a couple people in our section. We got the Lunas. We got Rob Wise.
Mm-hmm.
Got a couple.
Haven't seen Rob Wise in a while.
Yeah, shout out to Rob Wise.
So after this, I guess we'll end it with this. Are you worried for next week? Because when I first got on and I was waiting for you to get on, the chat was like it looks like they've calmed down a bit, but it was wild. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be a crazy show. But it's calmed down a bit. How are you feeling?
I mean, look, I feel good. I think we're gonna be good. Game 3.
So do I.
I think game 3 we're gonna win.
Look, I expect that whoever we have on Atlanta shows this week for previews. In English, we're gonna have Tommy one time. In Spanish, we're gonna have Higuita. Henry Higuita will be on the Spanish too. They're both gonna predict an Atlanta win. I'm expecting that.
Oh, of course.
And I don't blame them. I don't blame them for it. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I don't blame them because if there's any team in this league that can feel confident playing against Miami, it's Atlanta. Because we can't say, oh, we lost because we were playing in Atlanta on the turf. They beat us 3-1 at Chase Stadium just in May. And that was a fully healthy squad that we had. So it's happened in the past. So I don't blame them for being confident. If anything, it makes the game a little more fun. But I am not worried. We play very well at home. And the only time we've ever lost at home to an MLS side is Atlanta. So we've only lost once. I think we'll be fine. Now, my worry is Yannick Bright. He's not going to play next Saturday. If it's his hamstring, 100% he will not play next week.
I believe so. I believe that as well.
Yeah. So I was happy that we're going to have 3 weeks off because, okay, Yannick Bright gets to rest his hamstring for 3 weeks. You know, whatever Busquets is going through, he gets to chill for 3 weeks. You know, I was looking forward to the 3-week break.
And that's not happening. We'll be wasting our money next week.
Fuck, man, yeah. All right. Just real quick, chat. Let us know how you're feeling about the game, and then we'll start wrapping it up. How you feel after today? How are you feeling after today? Is all hope lost? Are you saying this is just a bump on the road, and we'll be fine on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to know, just easy write in, good or not good.
I don't even know what this means.
How are we feeling? Every game is an elimination game from here on out. No additional pressure. Yeah, basically because the next game's an elimination game, and then whatever game we have after that is
single elimination all the way through. It's fun. Yeah. I'm excited about it.
We got a couple goods. I mean, look, Jack Hart says a little worried though. We're not finishing our chances.
Dax McCarty, yeah, man, because he's gonna retire after this, and
yeah,
this little fucker's still sticking around.
Yeah, no, he's
a pest.
I'm sure he loves that he's gonna. Hey, at least he can get another Inter Miami jersey.
You know what, Dax McCarty. Usually, people hate the star of the other teams.
Yeah,
but you have to be a really good either role player or just a pest to get that attention. Because Dax McCarty's never been a superstar on his team, but everybody knows him and everybody dislikes him. So respect to him for being so disliked without being the star. That means that you've made a mark. One way or another, you made a mark. So it'll be fun to see him retired in person.
Well, Danny, I don't know if you're ready to finish the show, but
yeah, I got nothing else.
Well, one more stat before we head out of here. Over 2,500 people left-handed are killed a year from using right-handed products.
I don't believe that.
That's just what I found.
Where did you find that? I don't believe that.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, but you can't bring up stats if they're not going to be real stats.
They are real stats. I found it.
That is not a real stat. That is not true.
Does it sound right, chat? Yes or no?
I feel bad for you. I feel bad for you that you believe that.
Does it sound right, chat? Yes or no? 2,500 left-handed people.
You said a year. That happens every year.
Killed a year from using right-handed products.
I feel bad for you that you thought that was real. Why?
Nick Powell said lefty can confirm.
Did he die from something?
He's lefty. I believe him. He's lefty. Are you lefty? No, you're not lefty. Ooh, most of the time, Justin, guns are made for right-handed people. They actually only not.
And what are they shooting themselves?
No, there are guns. There are guns that are produced for left-handed people. Like I believe the Taurus is produced for left-handed people. Glocks are not.
How does this involve them killing themselves?
I mean, they get killed a year by using right-handed product. Doesn't mean that they kill themselves.
So they go into. Oh, so what you're saying is they go into straight combat with a gun and they get shot as they're using the right-handed.
No,
but think about it. You're not making any sense. Think about it.
This is saying 2,500 people that are left-handed are killed a year from using right-handed products that are made only for right-handed people.
So are they shooting themselves in the face by accident is what I'm asking you.
No, they're not shooting. Like, it could be any product. Like, scissors are made.
Think about it. Are they... Think about it.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they... I don't know, dude. I don't know.
If you told me that 2,500 people in history have done this, fine. You're telling me that this happens every year? 2,500 people?
Alejandro's saying there's 8 billion people in the world.
That's fine. Do you have any idea how specific this is? How? Give me an example.
Michael Negri is lefty. It says, I get penning stains on my hands. They're deadly. It could be.
I'm okay with you bringing up stats, but they have to be real stats because that's just ridiculous. That's not a real stat, Chris. That is not a real stat.
I found the stat. It's online. And you could believe everything you see online.
Yeah. I don't believe this. All right. What a way to end this show with fake stats.
I guess. Good thing I'm not left-handed.
It's the perfect thing. Now we got the election coming up. Fake stats. All right. If you are listening on audio, we appreciate you listening all the way to the end. Please leave us 5 stars, comment, review, all other good stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. And Kata said that's as real as it gets. No, it's not, Kata. It's not real. Stop it. It's not real. We'll be back on Monday in English and Spanish, and we'll be putting out the schedule for the week tomorrow. So we can figure out what we're going to do. I honestly did not think that this was going to go to 3 games. So I hadn't planned for this week being having a preview show or anything. So we're going to see. And then if you haven't already, please leave us a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. That's the best way to support us. And I guess that's about it. On Monday, we'll be back in English and in Espanol to talk more Atlanta, more to Miami. I really thought we were going to spend a lot of time talking like Neymar this week, the calendar schedule changing. And we're going to have a fucking preview show. I can't believe it, but whatever. All right. And that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed it and that we made this loss a little more bearable, that we entertained you, because that's our goal. And as always, you guys in the chat are the best part of the show. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us for the last hour and 8 minutes. And we'll be back on Monday. So until the next one, have a good one.